In this video, I will show you how to use Search UW. I'll start out on the library website and I'll click the button that says Sign into my Search UW account underneath the big search box. I'll choose UWRF, students, faculty, and staff, and then I'll use the same W number and password that I used to sign into Canvas. It's important to sign in anytime you're off campus so that you can actually access all the resources. But even if you're on campus, you'll find that if you sign in, you'll access more resources. And also you can only access your account features and request materials if you're signed in. So this is Search UW. This is how you access all of our library resources. This is the place you should go when your professor wants you to find sources for projects or assignments. Through here, you can find our print materials like print books, DVDs, government documents, and more. You can also find electronic materials such as electronic journal articles, newspaper articles, streaming media, ebooks, and more. And you can request things through other libraries. I'll start with a search. So first, I'm going to click everything here. This is a drop-down menu, and I'm going to limit down to just articles. And then I'll type in my keywords. It's a good idea to brainstorm keywords before you even start searching. I'm going to start with a very broad search. It's good to start broad with your search and then narrow down. Think of this as a two-part search. So we've already done our keyword search, but now we should limit using these filters on the left. There are a lot of great useful filters, but I'm going to focus in on some really important ones. Click Available Online if your paper or project is too soon or you just want sources right away. This will limit you to sources that are available right now. If you want to use peer-reviewed articles, click the box next to peer-reviewed journals and then click the box next to articles and hit apply, and that will limit you to peer-reviewed articles. These are articles that are written by experts in their fields and reviewed by experts to make sure there aren't any factual errors. So these are very reliable sources to use. However, it did limit our search results, so we did get rid of what could have been some useful resources. Also, because these are written by those experts, they tend to be longer articles and they can be a bit harder to read through because they're full of jargon from the field. So especially if you're not familiar with the field you're researching in, they can be a bit longer to go through. But it's really up to you and what your professor wants for if you use these or not. And then I'm going to look at this creation date here. This is just simply the publication date of these articles. Anytime you're doing research, stop and ask yourself, what's the scope of my project? Am I looking at the death penalty from 1801 to 2024? You could, but that would be a lot of really information to go through. You could write entire books on this. If you're just writing a paper, you might want to limit that down. So maybe I'll limit to the death penalty as it is currently. So if you're looking at current times, you can limit this down to, maybe the last 5 or 10 years. For this, it really depends upon how quickly your topic is changing. For, let's say, technology topics and topics where information is changing quite frequently, you want to use sources that are more recent within the last few years. But for topics that don't change very often, then you can use sources a little bit older. I'll type in 2015 here and hit refine, meaning the last 9 years or so. From here, you can click an article that looks like it might be useful based upon the title, and then usually your search terms are highlighted for you. Scroll down. Usually there's a summary here. Go ahead and read that. That helps you figure out what the article is about. If you decide this works for you, then you can go ahead and read it. Great. If you're like, oh, this isn't quite right, then you can click this X button and scroll down and try some other articles. I recommend you at least go through a couple pages of results before you give up on this search. And then you can always type in different search terms you're just not finding what you need. You can always ask for help from a reference librarian if you're just not finding the right thing. Sometimes it's just typing in the right search terms or the right search term combinations to get what you need. Okay, say that we did want to use this article. Under View Online will be the link of how to view it. So if you just click this link here, most times the article will show up for you right away. So here's our article. If it doesn't show up, sometimes it's simply you need to find the PDF button on the website. I do recommend if you want to use this article that you do download that PDF and save a copy somewhere. That's one of the most reliable ways to keep access to it. Otherwise, you can click this pin button up here, and this will pin the item to your account and save it for you. You can also hit this Save Query button, and this will save your search here and all your active filters. And that can be a good way to keep track of what searches you've tried. And then up here, next to your name, under your favorites, there's this little pin icon. That's how you can access that article again and your saved search. And if you actually click on this title here, it'll take you back to your search. So remember I said to click available online if your paper project is due soon or if you just want access to resources right away. If you do have some time though, if you don't click this will open you up to items in addition to items that we don't have but other libraries do that you can request. And this is a free process for you and it's fairly quick. So if it says view online, we have access to it. But if it says get it from other libraries, that means we don't have it, but another library does. All you have to do is you have to be signed in, click get it, click this box and read this notice and hit send. It's as simple as that, and the item will get to you fairly quickly. Keep an eye on your UWRF email account. That's how we'll let you know when it's available and how to access it online. If you don't want articles, you can click Books and Media UWRF, and that'll be our books and media items. If you click Available Online, this will limit you to our online items like our ebooks, electronic journals, streaming films, and more. Most ebooks you can just read online by clicking the link right here that says under View Online. So you click that and read it online. You don't need to check out ebooks or articles. So once again, I recommend that you click this pin item here to save it to your account just so you can access it easily. If instead of clicking available online, you click held by library, that will limit you to the physical library items that you have to come into the library to access them and then to check them out at the front desk. If you click on the title here, it'll give you more information about the item. Under Get It, if it says available, that means it's not checked out. And then here's where it is in the library. So you want to write down this full call number so you can find it on the shelf. If you need help finding any items, please ask at the front desk. They will be glad to assist you with finding items. If you open this up to Books and Media at UW Libraries, this will open you up to the whole UW system where you can request materials. If it says view online or available at UW Library, we should have it, so you don't need to request it. But if it says request this item, that means we don't have it. But you can request it fairly easily. Once again, you need to be signed in, click get it, and click send. Keep an eye on your UWRF email account because we'll email you when the item arrives at the Chalmers Library, and then we can arrange ways for you to pick it up either in person at the library or if you're a distance learner, we do have ways to get you items. That was a short introduction how to use Search UW. If you need any help, please remember to ask a librarian.